You were born in Zone 7's medical wing, 2 weeks early because contamination forced evacuations. Your doctor delivered you wearing a full radiation suit. Your first breath was filtered through decontamination systems. Even your incubator was sealed against invisible threats. Your birth certificate reads Contaminated Zone 7 Alpha, one of the first children born inside exclusion perimeters. That classification follows you on every single document. Within hours, your blood is tested for radiation. The results determine which sectors you can live in. Every cell in your body is cataloged and monitored. You didn't choose this, but your existence is mapped. Hundreds of safety protocols govern your daily routine. Your future is written in contamination readings already. Your childhood unfolds inside a reinforced concrete bunker. The walls are 3 feet thick against radiation. Air recycling hums constantly like a mechanical heartbeat. Sealed windows prevent any outside contamination from entering. Radiation detectors are mounted in every single room. It looks like a home from the outside, but it's a home where outside doesn't exist. Every door has locks and a decontamination seal. Your playground is a concrete room with approved toys. Geiger counters beep constantly throughout the entire day. Contamination sensors trigger alarms when levels shift slightly. Those alarms give you nightmares at age 4. You learn to sleep through machines measuring death. The authorities assign you designation Clean 7 one day. You think it sounds official until you understand. It's a contamination risk assessment determining your life. Only other clean designated children can interact with you. Protocols literally determine how long you can live. Every breath and meal measured against a countdown you can't see but always feel. That's when you understand what you are to them. Not a child, but a contamination risk assessment. Walking around in a small body being monitored. Every adult sees exposure levels before seeing you. You don't attend normal schools like other children. Option 1 is the underground facility in Zone 7. Classes in converted fallout shelters with reinforced walls. The playground is a decontamination chamber with sterilized toys. Radiation scanners replace metal detectors at every entrance. Every textbook decontaminated multiple times before reaching you. Lessons include emergency evacuation alongside regular math class. Emergency drills require full protective gear for children. Option 2 means tutors come to your bunker. Total isolation becomes your entire childhood experience. Option 3 is remote learning through sealed communication systems. You never see classmates' faces, only hear filtered voices. Whichever option your parents choose, the result's identical. You're different in ways you simply can't control. Every lesson includes radiation safety, like learning to read. Every adult around you is nervous about contamination. The same isolation defines every day of childhood. Your first memory of being different happens at 6. You ask why you can't play outside like movies. Your mother stops everything and sits down carefully. She explains outside air has invisible particles that hurt. Within an hour, you're watching a Geiger counter. Numbers that mean life or death and future. You learn reality is invisible and measured by machines. Everything around you contains danger only machines can detect. Trust nothing without testing it first with proper equipment. At 8, your daily routine surpasses most adults. Morning radiation check at 7 a.m. sharp every day. Afternoon contamination reading at 2 p.m. without exception. Evening decontamination shower at 6 p.m. sharp. Removing every accumulated particle from your skin carefully. Friends in other zones play video games freely. You're memorizing contamination thresholds that determine life and death. Your father calls it survival education to keep going. You call it living in a never-ending experiment. An experiment where you're subject and observer simultaneously. At 11, you discover old videos from before contamination. Your parents thought showing normal life was educational somehow. 30 minutes later, you're on the floor crying. A full existential crisis, seeing old playgrounds and freedom. Children running freely, breathing air without any protection needed. You try bringing it up at dinner that night. They sigh and say dwelling on the past won't help. Your biggest outdoor adventure was 10 minutes in hazmat. Kids deeper in zones have even less than you. Adolescence gives you one escape from bunker isolation. Radio communication with other zones becomes your lifeline, the only way to connect with anyone your age. For 2 years, your best friend is a voice coming through speakers from another sealed bunker. You share everything through static and filtered frequencies together. One day, the broadcasts from their zone just stop. No explanation given and no closure ever provided. You learn that connections here end without warning. People disappear and the zones just keep running. That loss teaches you never to hold too tightly. Everything can be taken by invisible forces overnight, silently. At 14, you see the outside during an evacuation. 30 seconds of unfiltered air hits your face hard. It's the most terrifying and beautiful moment simultaneously. The sky looks nothing like pictures in your textbooks. Colors you've never seen in bunker lighting ever. Then they pull you back inside the transport vehicle. Those 30 seconds replay in your mind for years. A reminder of everything existing beyond concrete walls always. Your teenage years are defined by quiet rebellion underground. You start questioning whether the protocols are actually necessary. Reading banned contamination reports hidden from the public. The data contradicts what authorities tell everyone constantly. You realize some protocols are fear-based, not science-based. That realization changes how you see every authority figure. Trust becomes complicated when survival depends on honest information. At 20, the mandatory monitoring finally officially ends. New decontamination technology means your zone is reclassified now. Lower risk status for the first time ever recorded. Relocation to cleaner areas is now actually possible somehow. Stay in the zone or transfer somewhere cleaner forever. You stand staring at the relocation official completely frozen. You don't know what clean air actually feels like. No memory of breathing without thinking about invisible particles. You decide to give relocation a shot despite everything. An apartment in a clean city under survivor housing. A city where air readings are consistently green finally. No daily radiation checks at designated times anymore. No contamination alarms in the hallway waking you up. For the first time, you walk outside without monitoring. Nobody tracking your exposure levels or contamination status anywhere. You stand on the sidewalk and wait for danger. Wait for alarms that never come in this place. The silence feels wrong and dangerous rather than peaceful. You don't know what to do with actual safety. You never learned existing without constant threat assessment. Since birth, there was always a Geiger counter nearby. Safety was supposed to feel like freedom, but doesn't. At least danger had rules you understood and followed. You spend the first week checking air quality hourly. Your body doesn't recognize what it means to stop. The habit is carved into your nervous system permanently. At 28, you meet someone who truly understands you. A chemical plant worker's daughter who knows invisible dangers. She grew up knowing threats you can't see. Invisible dangers that could kill without any warning. You fall in love cautiously like you approach everything. First person who understands hyper-preparedness without calling you paranoid. But even that connection doesn't fix the deep anxiety. You carry contamination fears you'll never rationalize away completely. Even when science says you're safe, your body remembers. One night at age 8, you wake up thirsty. You head to the kitchen for filtered emergency water. Your father sits alone, staring at contamination reports silently. A radiation detector in his hands with no protocols. Just him and numbers defining your family's entire future. You'd never seen your father look that defeated before. You go back to your room without making sound. That image was yours alone to carry forever silently. The only real thing showing what this cost him. You consider becoming a contamination specialist years later. Your experience would help policymakers understand zone life, but you've seen what that expertise demands from people. Your parents sacrificed mental health and peace for survival. Is helping others worth reliving that trauma every day? Or is healing choosing to build something completely different? You visit your parents in Zone 7 one ordinary day. They greet you at the decontamination chamber in gear. The bunker is quiet in ways clean areas aren't. Everything designed for survival and nothing for beauty or comfort. You have filtered coffee and they ask about life. They use the same careful tone as with officials. You realize they lost something in the survival process. Something about spontaneity and trusting what's around them now. You leave through decontamination and they watch you go. Through the chamber window like they always have done. You can't decide if that's parents saying goodbye. Or people remembering what normal family used to mean. You are a contaminated zone survivor from a bunker. At 20, the monitoring ended for the first time. You found that freedom was more terrifying than danger. At 28, you still carry the hypervigilance inside always. It informs every decision and relationship and conscious breath. The conditioning and habits and hypervigilance always remain permanent. Every day you carry survival instincts you never requested. This is your world and what survival actually looks like.